Bankruptcy stops foreclosure. If you're worried about foreclosure, one that's about to be filed, one that has been filed, or one that's been underway for a while, the quick answer is bankruptcy can stop foreclosure. You may have been struggling for months or even years. You may have had a job loss, medical issue, divorce, or some other life calamity that turns your world upside down. When you can't pay all the bills, it's natural to pay the creditors who scream the loudest. Your mortgage is never that creditor. You don't get daily harassment from the mortgage company when you late or miss a payment. Usually a quiet letter in the mailbox, no big deal, and you intend to catch it up later, really. Once you get a few months behind, you get worried, but still no calls, no harassment, and normally your life is pretty busy anyway, taking care of other things, so you really do mean to catch it up just as soon as you can get the money together. Next payday, you promise yourself, you'll make a full house payment and pay something on whatever you're behind. Then you get the acceleration letter. You have to catch it all up, says the letter, or your mortgage will be referred to the legal department for foreclosure. That's the word you didn't want to see, foreclosure. What about a loan modification? Will they work with you? What are your options? There's no way you can catch up all those payments at once. If you could do that, you wouldn't be this far behind in the first place. If you attempt to go for a loan modification, you're in for a treat. It's a dangerous, nerve-wracking, and frustrating process with an incredibly high failure rate that I've seen. And you need to be forewarned that the foreclosure will continue even if you're working on a loan modification. More than 95% of everyone I talk to tells me the same thing. The mortgage company loses their paperwork repeatedly. They have to update paperwork even though nothing has changed. The mortgage gets sold in the middle of the process and they have to start all over again. While all this is going on, there are people hired by the mortgage foreclosure lawyers to drop by repeatedly to take pictures of your home. They won't tell you why. The loan modification people don't have any answers either. It's actually part of an automatic process controlled by the big computer at the mortgage company somewhere. Really, that is the source of the order for the photos. And as the foreclosure process goes along, potential bidders may drop by to look at your home as well. Sometimes they even come to your door. You don't have to put up with that. Tell them if they don't leave, you'll report them to the police as trespassers. After all, you still own the property for now. Meanwhile, the foreclosure continues to move forward. That is, unless you file an answer. Translated into plain English, that's the legal term for filing a written response to the foreclosure lawsuit. If you didn't file an answer, you are not entitled to get any notice of anything going on in the foreclosure on your home. I'm not kidding, that is a court rule. So it's a good idea to get an attorney involved to at least protect and advise you as the process goes forward, even if you don't intend to use bankruptcy to stop the foreclosure. And even if you don't think there's much hope of a loan modification being approved, just knowing what's happening in the foreclosure and having some input into the process will make you feel better. Ultimately, you'll be faced with a decision. Several decisions, actually. What is really possible for you to do in this situation? Surprisingly, there may be more options than you think, and certainly more options than they're going to tell you about. Options are good. And knowing what options you have and what options you can combine with other options to get a better result is even better. Because I've handled thousands of foreclosure cases, I can help you sort all this out. So you not only know what's possible, but what's most beneficial for you, for your future financial recovery, because it depends in large part on how you handle this foreclosure. So wherever you're at, pre-foreclosure, beginning the process, or even well into it, you need to know your options. And honestly, the earlier in the process you get counsel and get the information that you need, the more options you'll have. So don't wait to find out what they can and can't do and what you can and can't do. Call me today. If you live in the Dayton and Cincinnati area, call me for a foreclosure consultation. Call 937-748-1749. Getting started is the hardest part. We can make it a lot easier for you. So call us today and you'll sleep better tonight.